Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000. And the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like those heathen, and to the few akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming back at you with another lesson in truth and sincerity. And what you're looking at is Horizon, the American saga. And it's just a blasphemous lie because, you know, the way Esau tells the story, he tells it as if they were just so pious and holy and Christian-like, and that they were just honest people discovering, when the fact is that they were murderous land thieves looking for a better life at the price of someone else suffering, of the taking of someone else's heritage. That would be the truth. Very unethical. And even then they would lie in their media, in their form of communication. They would lie about what was really going on, calling the Gadites, the Reubenites, the Iskarites that were in the Americas, calling them savages. That's what the term Indian means, savage, and all this other things, and use their own wars against each other, etc., as an excuse or reason to come in still and take all their lands from them. Because in the opening first 15 minutes of this, they show some Gadites ride down on another Gadite by himself, and he realizes that his weapon, his firearm, isn't working, so he just gets his shield and his war club and makes his last stand against superior numbers. And of course he loses pretty quickly, and of course I'm sure they took his deer from him, because it looks like he was hunting, and they probably shot his horse and tracked him down. His horse collapsed. But this was directed by and the main actor is Kevin Costner. He's also the director, but it's Kevin Costner, Sienna Miller, and Sam Worthington. All right, these are some of the main characters in it. And Kevin Costner's actually a pretty good actor, and I started watching it, and and it's pretty violent and seemed pretty good. So I'm gonna finish watching the show, but it just goes to show you, I like to read Micah, the 2nd chapter, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence, and houses, and take them away, so that they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, behold, against this family, the Edomites, do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for the time is evil." So the evil now is starting to befall Esau, Edom. It's happening to them. They're being called out and exposed, and they're getting in trouble with things that they didn't get in trouble exposed about in the past. Verse 4, "And in that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled, and he hath changed the portion of my people. He hath removed it from me, turning away, he hath divided our fields." And that's exactly what they did to Jacob. And not only Jacob, but they did it to the other nations around the world. And this is why Edomite strongholds are almost on every continent. And they're the ruling class people almost on every continent. All right? Including continents that they're completely 100% foreign to. There's a story right now about some chick. I think her name's Danielle Bethworthy or Bethany, who was down in Puerto Rico, and she got angry because she was asked to leave an establishment because of her rude Karenness, and she went and came back with a gasoline canister and she set the bar and 2 other bars on fire in Puerto Rico and then fled back to Missouri. It's all over TikTok. I haven't seen it on I mean, not TikTok, but I've seen it on Instagram. But I'm sure it's all over TikTok, and it'll probably soon be on YouTube. All right. So I've seen multiple different sources of it. And yeah, and they've identified who she is and everything. And what she didn't realize is that Puerto Rico is U.S. territory, so it's subject to the laws of the land. So she can be extradited back to Puerto Rico, and she's facing more than 50 years with the added charges, because I think it was 8 years for arson, and depended on how many chemicals involved in it. Well, the fact that alcohol is extremely flammable, that added years to the charges, and then the fact that she did it to 2 other places. So the total years that this woman is looking at for setting the fire is 50 years. And she's being put on blast in the media now. So, job prospects, she could even get fired from her job. If she works for a huge company, that's gonna make them look bad if they continue to host her as an employee. So she's really created a conundrum for herself. All right. So, you know what? I want to read that Micah in the NLT. So let's grab it. Grab my NLT Bible. Yeah, actually, it's not light here. Let me turn it on. Okay. Yeah, the book of Micah. The whole book is fire, man. But this is Micah 2:1 in the NLT. And it reads, judgment against the wealthy oppressors. They like to put a title above it. So who's more wealthier than Esau, Edom, the so-called white man? It seems that Kevin Costner loves to be in sagas that, that revolve around horses and owning land that belongs to somebody else. That was the whole 1883 Yellowstone. All right. But here you go. This is Micah 2:1. What sorrows await you, who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so. When you want peace of the land, when you want a piece of land, you will find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you will take it by fraud and violence. Yeah, they do that in the courts every day. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family inheritance. That's how, the brother Yawana said it the best. Whatever Edomites are on the planet, they're on stolen land. In their neighborhoods and their gated communities, they're on stolen land. They made market and they made merchandise and sold and traded back and forth stolen land, and then set themselves up to be the authority, to be the judges over what's right and what's wrong. But this is what the Lord says. See, and it's in all caps. So this is what Yahweh says. I will reward you your evil with evil. See, because the church will teach you that God is love and God is good all the time. No, the Lord, it says that the Lord is great and terrible. And he just said he's going to reward them with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose like Haman. Malone. You will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. And the Wadi Hawabashimashah, that time is now, and they're going to continue to be revealed and continue to be exposed, which means they're going to go harder on that pointing the fingers. So just be prepared for the entrapments, for the persecution, and the bearing of false witness against you, especially if you believe in this truth, if you believe in the actual Bible. They're going to even do that to regular Christians who really have no understanding of the Bible. How much more so us? All right. And that day your enemies will make fun of you, By singing songs of despair about you, we are finished, completely ruined. God has confiscated our land, taken it from us, and had given our fields to those who betrayed us. Look, man, there is no healing of America, and there's no fixing the problem. And Esau Edom is done. So now let's get to the meat of the lesson. That will set the precedence for what we're about to do. This is a video that was done by the beloved elder brother Yashawamba, and it's called Prophecy Watch. More surveillance will be the solution. Because see, now they have to point the fingers and blame everyone else. All right. And it says a congressman, let me bring the screen up a little bit. The congressman warns of sleeper cells about to be activated, all right, by the C to the I to the A, all right. And this is fact checked by the People's Voice community. All right. So it's about to, go down in Chi-Town and every other town in Babylon. Okay. So let's play a couple minutes of this video. Let's let the elder speak.
People just, demonic energy now. Remember, the so-called Pope, did something, or he so-called, from Christmas Eve going forward, opened some portals, which we know that, they go hand in hand with the beast system, and they're known as the false prophet. All right. And we know for sure CERN, the Vatican, and these devils are, pretty much entering evil spirits into the earth for the purpose of chaos. And we see it working. And now, all right, they're telling us sleeper cells are going to be activated, basically putting the people in a constant state of fear. And the response and answer to this, all right, will be their form of peace and safety for you, which will include taking away your rights, surveillance heightened, all right, more AI, all right, and eventually everyone will have to enter into that hub to identify themselves, and we know what's next.
That would be to the MO to the TB, all right? And he went on to say how there are going to be sleeper cells that have been implanted within the camps, maybe even within the Great Millstone, all right? And I imagine that whoever these people may be, they're going to go out and commit stuff and then try to, because they've been desperately trying to put the Hebrews along with these terrorists who more than likely are Israelis dressed as Arabs. And I'm going to show you some receipts to prove that. All right. But before I do so, I'm going to show you how they lie. And that the problem, because, there was this video by the Rightfight2024 that I made a comment on, and it just started a shitstorm. And there was some Edomite woman, trying to play the whole, black on black crime is the real problem, and white people being blamed for this and white people being blamed for that. Well, you are. It is your fault. The so-called nigger in American is your creation. You destroyed their homes. You created the situations that they live in, and took away the opportunity, dumbed them down, and created these monsters that are that are running around society today. And how did you do that? Through fraud, through second and third class education, through fraud in the banking system, redlining, the Jim Crow laws, and just so much more. You control the entertainment, what they listen to. You got rid of all the positive rap, and you put in all the negative stuff purposely. And the constant bringing of guns into their neighborhoods, which they try to deny, but it's so much. Look, they've been doing that since I was a child, and they probably were doing it before then. And you still got people today that are testifying of how the train cars and sit right in their neighborhoods, and they open up the train cars, and there's guns everywhere, and the crates of guns that they leave in the alleys in different gang neighborhoods, and heavily armed one gang so that they can you know, go and do what they do, and then they'll heavily arm the opposition, and so that they can hit back. Why? And what does that do? That creates money. That also puts you in a position where they can constantly have brown faces in the media as the problem, when they're the ones that are causing the problem. And well, here's a receipt right here. Yeah. Now you can go look these up yourself, but those are the Iowa chief of police caught selling machine guns. You remember the story that came out? 26 states where cops were selling illegal guns, and they're selling the switches and all that stuff. All right, here you go. A Dare police chief sentenced to 60 months in federal prison. All right. And it's not just him. Like I said, 23 states, including Puerto Rico. So that's half of the country. All right. That's half of the stars on the Stars and Stripes, where your law enforcement are actually contributing to the violence in the streets. Which then they're able to make money in their court systems, railroad you off to prison, keep your numbers down. They love to play with that 13% lie. Because I made the statement that, you know, that the FBI statistics and the Department of Justice statistics showed that more crime was done by white males, and then he clapped back saying, "Oh well, but you're only 13% of the population, so of course that's gonna." Man, no, is that 13%? That's a lie. That's another controlled false statistic, so that they can control the narrative and keep hell. You have all the brown people that come from Western Asia, which you fraudulently call the Middle East, and all the brown people that come in from Africa, and most of the brown people that come in from South America, you have them listed as Caucasian. You see the fraud, the lies that come from the authority, from the people who are supposed to be distributing justice. All right, here's another one. American-backed coups. And even have a reaction video. Because I guess Mr. Blonde here, or the dude with the effeminate blonde highlights in his hair, you know, he's looking with that shocked face that all these countries, you know, that America was responsible for all the overthrow, the murder, and stealing of the resources of all these different countries. All right. That's and this video, and it's a year old, and it's got 7.1 million views. This the original video at the top there. American-backed coups mapped 1 year ago by Johnny Harris. All right. And then the one below it is 78,000. This is 6 months ago. Saying American-backed coups mapped reacts. So I guess 37 minutes. The reaction videos is longer than the actual video. The video is basically a half hour, 29-minute video, but the reaction video is 37 minutes long, almost 38 minutes long. So it's almost 9 minutes longer than the original video of the reaction to it. All facts. And you can see the faces of the people who were overthrown. They were demonized, falsely accused, all right? And then they were destroyed and put out of power. All right? I think that's the Queen of Hawaii on the far left end there. Yeah, and that's Paul Pot on the end. So he was a piece of shit. But nevertheless, these people, this was their own countries, their own business. As a matter of fact, they removed that queen from power, and basically Hawaii, the Hawaiian citizens make up the majority of the people that are homeless in their own land. Why the Edomites and the foreign people are living deliciously. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Okay, and now getting back to this whole cop selling machine guns and cops selling guns illegally. And when the elder bro talked about, you know, the congressman warning of sleeper cells, you know, that are about to be activated, and then it's fact checked. Well, I've been saying in my videos for quite some time that this Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, ISIS, that most of them are just Edomites that are dressed up like Arabs, running around Western Asia, destroying countries and going and destroying their relics. Because I found it strange when I saw those images of them bombing and destroying museums and going in there and just destroying the relics. Why are they destroying? Who destroys relics? $1 million priceless relics inside museums purposely. I tell you why, because those relics are evidence and proof that these Israelis are not the Israelites, and that they were not the people in that land during the time of Moses and the prophets. Okay, or the time before them. The relics reveal all the brown people, the people of color, all right, and they can't have that because they need and must control the narrative. So I'm going to play some evidence, then I'm going to read another scripture and get ready to wrap this up. But yeah, this is a pretty powerful receipt. I'll play this a few times. Let me turn the sound up. Get ready, and here we go. Come on now.
Military targets, morale, wellness, and readiness facilities in Egypt in the 1950s. They were trying to blow up United States servicemen in their
Let's take that back.
They planted bombs in U.S. military targets, morale, wellness, and readiness facilities in Egypt in the 1950s. They were trying to blow up United States servicemen and their families in Egypt. Blame it on the Arabs. Israeli citizens committed these terrorist acts. It is by a stroke of luck that we detected the bombs before they went off and hurt any U.S. citizens or U.S. military personnel in Egypt in the Levant affair. All of the people involved in the Levant affair were Israeli citizens pretending to be Egyptian Arabs.
You heard that?
We turned them over to the embassy in Cairo on orders of our United States State Department. Terrorists trying to kill Americans in a false flag attack. Never punished. Turned over to the Israeli government. They were never punished. These people are heroes in Israel.
And so if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make that.
So let's take that back. Let us speak again.
They planted bombs in U.S. military targets, morale, wellness, and readiness facilities in Egypt in the 1950s. They were trying to blow up United States servicemen and their families in Egypt. Blame it on the Arabs. Israeli citizens committed these terrorist acts. It is by a stroke of luck that we detected the bombs before they went off and hurt any U.S. citizens or U.S. military personnel in Egypt in the Levant affair. All of the people involved in the Levant affair were Israeli citizens pretending to be Egyptian Arabs. We turned them over to the embassy in Cairo on orders of our United States State Department. Terrorists trying to kill Americans in a false flag attack. Never punished. Turned over to the Israeli government. They were never punished. These people are heroes in Israel.
And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture,
So there we are, man. All right, let me read a couple more scriptures and wrap this thing up. Let's go to Deuteronomy. And it's funny, this Rightfight2024 even says, in the title of his video that he's an opinionated Texan. So he's, and he's playing a video just rambling off all this Edomite woman's opinion, not facts. And we've already given you the skinny that you're never going to get facts from Edomite sources. All right? You're not. Not in the mainstream, you won't. Stuff that's off the beaten path, yeah, you'll find it. But in the mainstream, no, you're not going to get the truth. And then when they're faced with the truth, they actually hit with it. They want to come with every other excuse as to why it's not true, or just display their racist, hateful, cognitive dissonance. But this is Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. All right. So I'm going to read actually Habakkuk. Almost a whole damn chapter. 2. And in the NLT, because it just goes so hard. All right. Now, I'm King James first, all the time, but this particular, but the NLT, they really, they go hard on quite a few things. Like most of the newer versions or translations, they really watered down or took away, the scriptures that talked about, blackness and dark flesh of the Hebrews and of the Lord and of God. They try to really write that out in the new translations. But when it comes to identifying Esau, Edom, and their evil, they go hard. All right. But this is Habakkuk 2 and 1. And it reads, and I will climb up on my watchtower and stand at my guard post, because we're the watchmen. And what do? We watch the media, we watch the skies, we watch what's going on, and then we watch movies, because movies are forms of not just forms of entertainment, but they're actually messages that are sent back and forth to the elites and to the people, because that's how witchcraft works. Witchcraft, one of the things about witchcraft, before you do something, you have to advertise what you're going to do. Like when you watch a magician and he'll say, there's nothing up my sleeve. He has to show you what he's going to do before he does it. That's how they justify it. All right. That's even, in different portions of the Talmud. Now, I'm not as familiar with it where I can just quote something off the top of my head, but I have seen and read things. But here we go. And I will climb up on my watchtower and stand on my guard post. There I will wait to see what Yahweh says and how he will answer my complaint. Then said the Lord unto me, write my answer plainly on tablets, so that the runner can carry the correct message to others. And that's us bringing this word to the people. The vision is for a future time. It describes the end. It will be fulfilled. So these things were to be fulfilled at the end. The prophecies in the Bible are end of day prophecies. All right. You have to be able to, if you don't understand that, that's because the Lord is not with you. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, and we're in that time to water Yahweh. Look at the proud, and we all know who the proud is. Hey, you know how the Edomites were, all those videos with them wearing the prosthetic mask and gloves to make them look like black men? All right. How they came and arrested that one brown man, and it turned out it was some Edomite wearing a mask and looked like him. And it was his own mother that turned him in. And then they showed you how a woman was watching the TV and even she thought it was her son. That's how much the mask looked like her son. Okay. These people are masters at deception. That has been Esau's biggest power, secrecy and deception. And now, he's being exposed. He can't hide himself anymore. Look at the proud. They trust in themselves and their lives are crooked. But the righteousness will live by their faithfulness of God. All right. The righteous will. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death, they are never satisfied. In their greed, they have gathered up many nations and swallowed up many people. All those coups, all those government overthrows and takeover of the resources, and now those people are broke and poor in their own homes, while Esau lives deliciously in their lands. Right? But soon their captors will taunt them and will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You will become rich. You've become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? Suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have. While you're standing and trembling and helpless because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. What sorrows await you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly. That is the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. You believe your wealth will buy you security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. Hey, I watched that movie and I called it before and they put it in the movie. Right, well, the security was planning to turn on the rich people who set it all up, because they realized, well, shit, we're behind. We're behind in this safe, secure place, and we have all the damn power. We're the weapons experts. Why should we be listening to this nerd, this rich dude, when we could take all his food, his fine ass wife, his daughters, and everybody else, and divide it among ourselves? That's exactly what's going to happen. Your security, your very police forces are going to turn on you. You watch and see. The Bible has said it. It says, what sorrows await you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly? You believe your wealth, your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. The very stones of the walls cry out against you, and the beams in the ceilings echo the complaint. What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption? Has not Yahweh of the heavens armies promised that the wealth of the nations will be turned to ashes? Man, it's over for you Edomites, man. So expect from this point on, things to get worse in America, the blame game and the finger pointing, but it's all going to come to naught. All right? We just have to endure a little bit longer, because when they secure their plans and when they're about to fill their belly, Yahweh Shai is coming to knock them down off of he's going to take down all mountains and hills. Mountains and hills represent big governments and little governments. He's taken them all down to establish the house of David and the kingdom of heaven here on earth. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah Kodash Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.